Here we will see returning a difference between two times functions in SQL Server. First is extract hour. General syntax is date part with parameters hour format and date, where hour format can be hour or HH. For example, select date part with parameters hour get date will give the current hour, and select date part with hour comma joining date will return joining hour for the employees. We can also use HH to extract the hour. Next is extract minute. General syntax is date part with parameters minute format comma date, where minute format can be minute, mi or n. For example, select date part with parameters minute comma get date will return current time in minute, and select date part with mi comma joining date will return joining time in minutes. We can also use n to extract the minute from the time. Next is extract second. General syntax is date part with parameters second format comma date, where second format can be second, ss or s. For example, select date part with parameters second comma get date will return time in second, and if we give select date part ss comma joining date will return time in second from the employees table for all the employees. We can also use s to extract the second. Next is extract millisecond. General syntax is date part with parameters millisecond format comma date, where millisecond format can be millisecond or ms. For example, select date part with millisecond comma get date will return current time in millisecond, and if we give select date part ms with joining date, it will return employee joining time in millisecond. Next is extract microsecond. General syntax is date part with parameters microsecond format comma date, where microsecond format can be microsecond or mi. For example, select date part with microsecond will return time in microsecond, and select date part with microsecond comma joining date will return time in microsecond for the employees joining time. We can also use mi to extract microsecond. Next is extract nanosecond. General syntax is date part with parameters nanosecond format comma date, where nanosecond format can be nanosecond or ns. For example, select date part with nanosecond comma get date will return time in nanosecond. Select date part with nanosecond comma joining date will return time in nanosecond for the employees joining time. We can also use ns to extract the nanosecond time. Now we'll execute these queries. First we'll use database. So first we'll extract hour. So select date part with parameter hour comma get date as current hour, and when we execute it will display current hour. We can use it with employee table. So select, first we'll display joining date to check the data. So joining date comma date part with hour comma joining date as joining hour from employee, and when we execute it will display joining hour from the joining date table. We can use HH also. So I will use here HH and I will execute. With HH also it will display joining hour. Then we will extract minute. Here we will use mi and here we will use n. And when we execute it will display joining minute from the date time interval. With n also it will display joining minute. Then we will extract seconds. So we will use second here. Here we will use ss and here we will use s. And when we execute it will display time in seconds. So to extract the second we will use second, ss or s. Then we will find milliseconds. So millisecond and ms. And when we execute it will display time in milliseconds, where we have entered the time in milliseconds. So it will display millisecond for only one record. Then we will display time in microsecond. So we will use here microsecond and here we will use mi, and when we execute it will display time in microsecond. So we can use microsecond or mi to extract the microsecond from the time. Then we will extract nanosecond. So we will use here nanosecond or ns. And when we execute it will display time in nanosecond. So to extract time in nanosecond we will use nanosecond or ns.